So, 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 so. So, 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 so. What do you do whenever. Oh shit, I can hear myself. Oh my god. There's a. Oh, I'm playing in the background. This is an example of what I was about to talk about. What do you do when everything goes wrong? Because that's what's happening tonight. Oh, God, if you knew the plans that I had for this it's not even a podcast. It's still going wrong. So what do? You improvise. Maybe your camera doesn't work. So you have to use your onboard webcam. Maybe you forget that this is Twitch and you're calling it a podcast. And maybe your original idea you had for the entire stream was going to take 2 hours to set up, and you got home with 15 minutes to spare, and you still had to talk to the wife and FaceTime with the kid. Because, God, that kid is so needy. She's really adorable, though. And then there's the orange chicken that you wanted because you haven't eaten much today. And it's from Trader Joe's. And, God, that stuff's so good. It's the closest thing I found to mall Chinese, and it's incredible. But you have to preheat the oven. It takes like 20 minutes to cook. And you said you were going to be on at 9. And now it's 9:30. I'm telling myself right now there was ideally probably 200 people waiting. I was busy today, pretty certain that less than one of the Twitch stream probably went viral last night. No way to tell. I could look at numbers, but I'm not a numbers sort of guy, so I'm not going to bother with that. But, in the event one of you happy people, God, who's texting me? This guy. LOL, Dead Mouse is a streamer and live now. Guess what? He's playing Rocket League. Hey, dude, you're interrupting my stream. Period. About Caps music. Not Caps music. Fuck. Period. Anyway, I'm streaming. Period. Enjoy Mousy. Yeah, I told him. Let's turn the ringer off. What to do when everything goes wrong. I'm not talking to you, Siri. Am I gonna die? Okay. Oh, see? I got excited. I thought there was a message. It was the equivalent of was it Steve from MySpace? Hey, I'm your first friend. And all I wore was a white tank top. I didn't even try to look nice for a photo that's going to be on millions of people's screens for 5 months while they were on Facebook. MySpace. Count to 10, start over. Count to 10, eat orange chicken. Let's make it right real fast. One piece. So what are we going to do? Well, we have 2 more options that might get our camera working. We're going to try this real fast while we do something called improvising. This right here. Well, that's called Dead Space. This is called improvising. Because right now, this orange chicken was just a prop. It was something to get you interested. And the more I look, the more I see this camera thing is just a moot point. So what are we going to do? When life gives you chicken, you make a chicken salad lemonade. So let's pull up our app. Because today, I think the important thing to do is to show no matter what your level of stupidity, you're capable of writing a song. It's true. Let's start with some software that all Windows users love, so it's familiar to everyone, GarageBand. So, we're opening up a new empty project. And let's talk about the setup today that I probably can't show you because I don't have a damn camera working. But I will try one last ditch effort that will make this look closer to the Blair Witch Project. There's an extra camera in this room, and if I plug it in and it works, we're going to have a roaming camera, and you're going to get a little tour around. So come on, folks, but stay where you are, because I'm going. Here we go. The last chance to bring this into, I was going to say this century, but technically all this stuff is pretty, yeah, you get it. All right, which lucky USB plug? All right, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And we're gonna say, oh, that's what happens. See, you improvise long enough and it works out. Now it kind of looks like I got really big shoulders. And, hey, look, it's getting smaller and smaller. Wow. Hey, look at that. We're in what they like to call business. Let's put you beside your stupid older brother. Doesn't work anymore. Now, come on, work with me, guy. That's just useless. That's absolute. What happens if I do this? I'm just curious. Do you guys stay with me? Oh, what happens? Lost you there for a minute. Wait. Are you still there? We're still here. Wow. All right, and now this is the background for our canvas. We can start painting. This is what we like to call a happy little accident. Let's take me now, and we're going to transform, and we're going to stretch to screen. Ah, shit, that was the wrong one. There goes my Bob Ross impression. And magic. Boom. All right. Step 1 complete for the evening. We are at least on air and very, very off center. Jeez. How much improv can I do? You'd think I was part of a comedy troupe. I'm about 2 seconds away from bringing out the Amiibo collection behind me. That could be more entertaining. Look, here's a figure. So, it's looking pretty clear on my end. It's probably like 100 kilobit, and I look like Mario on your end, but we're going to roll with it. The next thing I would like to show you is, yes, we're going to remove that. All right. Let's add another little screen something here. Because I'm telling you, none of this setup got done, easy for me to say, got done beforehand. What window would we like? I think we would like, oh yes, oh, that's covering me up. GarageBand. Great. Why don't we put GarageBand back being a big kid and just pretend like I'm still here. Sure. I guess it's not, you there, GarageBand? GarageBand. Ah, shit, I was moving me. How many things can go wrong in a night? How many things can go wrong? What if I flipped myself horizontally? It didn't do anything. Oh shit, I flipped the window horizontally. Can I hit undo while I'm streaming? Nope, I'm on my own. And I'm kind of curious, what does that look like? Ah, it's backwards. All right. Let's flip it again. Boop. All right. Go back to me. Now we're gonna have another. Yeah, we're just gonna shrink it down. We're just gonna shrink it down. Like, oh, that's much better. All right. So let's get down to business and stop with the bullshit. What I would like to show you today is that making music, if you know a couple of little tips and tricks. Hey, well, note to self. You know what, guys? Let's go ahead and add the chat here because we've got some hecklers. We've got some hecklers in the crowd, and I think it's important that we show them on screen. So let's have one more happy accident here. And according to them, I just need to do my hair because I look a little homeless. Am I right? Yeah, according to those assholes. No, don't use that. Okay, we're back. Window capture. Firefox. There we go. Let's bring that on down. And that's fucking illegible. Terrific. Don't know what the shit I'm doing here. No, I'm not gonna. Let's give it one more try here. What if we do like a zoom feature? It's fucking pointless. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. One more thing we can do, and I should probably keep improving instead of going into self-deprecation mode. I think we can zoom this in. Why don't we try it real fast, guys? Because then we're going to have our complete setup here. We're going to have our crop. Maybe? Crop? This is just it's not even working. We're gonna keep the chat open in a separate window. So, oh god, that was nearly the wrong one. You know what? That's 2 things in a row I've done right, so I'm feeling pretty good so far. So let's just move this just a little bit, like so, and now we'll have to really rearrange that. So, right now, the bit of feedback we've been given is you look like a homeless person. This is not unlike something that we will experience when we get into lesson 5, playing our first real gig. But yeah, usually we say takes one to know one. There's lots of different ways to handle it. We will discuss it in a moment. Let's see. Let us capture this window because I think it's important that we talk to our fans. That's looking better. Great. Now we're going to do this. And once again, it's just it's a happy little accident because we're just going to say, why don't you go, let's go back. Oh, look at that. We're good. In design, this is what we call, this is even. This is like good spacing, nice use of dark space right there. Great. Feeling good about this. So without further ado, we say F it and we just keep rolling. So, step 1. Today is a special day because we don't just have a book filled with children's rhymes. We're going mobile here. I mean, look, we got a whole bunch of equipment here. Like, we kind of look like we could launch a spaceship. And I'm certain that, God, sorry, my Parkinson's is taking effect. I mean, okay, what do we got here? We got a full 61 key keyboard right here. Call this a microphone. This is the new toy that I have. It is an Ableton Push first edition, and it's supposed to make magic things. The great thing is, Go ahead, Ableton, do your magic. Oh, we'll have to maybe find. It's not gonna plug in right here. Will you be like cool and make just make lights? There we go. Who doesn't want to play this? I mean, this thing actually makes music. That's the whole reason I bought it. I was like, hundreds of dollars. Don't know how to work it. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, you change color? Right on. So soon we're going to be having a lesson where we explore this, and we're going to learn what this does. So this particular spaceship controller, also GarageBand when we're using this keyboard, these aren't, pianos or something like that in the traditional sense. No shit, you say. All right, so what are they? Well, they're electronic. They plug up. But no, I'm not getting all like modern marvels here with you. This is an important concept. There's a thing called MIDI, MIDI, and it stands for who the hell cares? What MIDI does? Let's break this down like we're 2-year-olds. MIDI takes some random piece of plastic, and when you push that random piece of plastic, it's connected via a regular USB cable, and it sends like 4 tiny little pieces of signal. Trust me, it doesn't really get any more complicated than this. Like on this keyboard right here. If we hit I wrote with a marker E. If we hit an E, oh my God. Well, you can't hear that. I can hear it in my headphones. Let's see if we can change some audio settings so you can hear what the hell we're talking about. Cause I doubt you can hear this. Do 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 do. All right, let's see. Let's make you hear this, cause I can't get over how incredible this is. I mean, you wanna just talk about incredible. This is where we improvise again while we change our settings. Change our settings. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Boom, boom, boom. Ba-da-da-da-doo. That doesn't help you either. What can we click? No, that didn't let you hear anything. That didn't let you hear anything. Now I can't hear anything either. Oh wait, GarageBand's saying. Alright, let's come over here, settings. Audio. Guys, we have to, okay, so let me tell you what MIDI does while I sit here and just bullcrap with you while I'm going, why can't you hear what I'm doing? You hit a key, and then when you hit that key, it's sending the following info. It's saying, hey, first off, he hit this key right here. All right, cool. And then this key, he hit it at this particular time. And also, he held this key down for this length of time. And there's one other really cool piece of information. And not only that, applications running around. Not only that, but he also hit the key with this much velocity. Now, why is that important? Well, that's important because time for UX2. Okay, click. I'm losing it, guys. I've got to figure this out right here. Let's see. Wave tap. So instant on default output. We'll see what happens when we do this. Oh, hey. Hello? Hello? I hear an echo of my own voice. A sound. Okay. Check. Well, shit. See, this is where we're just falling apart. Sorry, that's just because I enjoyed hearing it. Can you hear me? Oh my word. See what happened? Magic just happened. Now we gotta do one more thing. I gotta hear what the hell I'm doing. Output device is gonna be you. There we go. I think we are cooking with gas, y'all. As far as I can tell, you can hear this. Show's on. Show is on. Okay. Back to what I was saying. 4 pieces of information. What key did I hit? E. Oh, I know when you hit it. I know when you took your hand off. And also, I know how hard you hit it. And you hit it between a value of 1 to 127. I don't know why the hell that's the value range. But what's important is like, maybe that's like a 6. That's a 127. So when you want to make something sound natural, like a good solo like that, it only sounds natural and not like a, because all the notes are hit at different velocities. We're not going to get any more scientific than that. What is that called? MIDI. MIDI is the transfer protocol that we use for playing this music. Now, the reason we care about MIDI is because he can barely hear me. You know what? Let's turn this sucker up. Well, some of that's because of the instrument that we're using. But you know what? Yeah, let's turn it on up. Turn it on up to the side. Ba-da-da. You know, I should probably turn myself down a little bit. That could be part of the problem. We could use a output volume enhancer. Let us see. Volume increaser. And we'll turn my shite down. All right, you know what? Let's go to something that's a little more aggressive as far as, let's see, for a Hemplo. Let's look over here at guitar. Now tell me that's not wailing. Do I have a delay on my chat? Please define, sir. And since, yeah, like, do I look like an anime character talking right now? Or is just what I'm doing and what I'm hitting not syncing up? That would probably be the same effing thing. Yeah, there's a huge delay on my chat. And I wasn't really looking at the window too. Say something and I'll tell you when I see it again. Because the last thing I see read is, oh, you know what? How about that? I do see that. So hit another key. And you'll see when it comes up on chat. And let me know if the volume sounds better. Oh dear. That's a hell of a delay. Well, shit. Type something again. And if it's still bad, like a minute bad, I will log off and log back on. Because we're finally set the hell up. And we get into what the point of this whole session was. About how we can all sound like Van Halen with one keystroke. Now. I don't know what now was. I said it a while ago, I guess. I hope you're counting with a stopwatch. Due to. So I guess a duet's probably out of the question with you at the moment. If it's my account, yeah, yeah, they probably judge your bandwidth by your bank account level. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Come on, plug in this cable. I can always try a restart of the stream because it looks like things are actually working now. And we're ready to get this show on the road because what we're going to do is in about 1 hour's time, start to finish, about 5 different instruments, write an entire song. Anybody can, because there are some tips and tricks that seriously, you just fake it. You fake it. You don't actually have to know how to play this stuff. You know, I will double check my stream. Yeah, let me see. That's a good point. Let's look under settings. Maybe I do have a delay. That's a good point. Thank you, users. Advanced. You know what? Stream delay. You know what? It's not enabled. I do not have stream delay enabled. So, yeah, that's not it. That's not it, I'm afraid. Oh, sorry. You probably saw when I had that window flipped. That's just embarrassing. All right. Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I've seen it like that before, the 30-second. Okay, either way. We'll remove chat. And this guy right here, he's going big. I think I stretched the hell out of him. This is where we do the transform. Fit the screen. Do. I guess I gotta make you bigger on the screen. Do. What do we got now? All right, we got something to work with. So I can still see chat. So all of you out there, you 4,000 computers, can keep watching on. And we're going to show some basic shortcuts. Now, I don't think this is an actual term. I'm pretty sure I just made it up. But you know what? We're going to get bold and try again for camera number 2 because I swear this would benefit us from seeing the keyboard. If not, we're going to have to lose my awesome background so we can focus on the keyboard because we're going to get all Bob Ross, but keyboard style with this. It's the last chance we have. Is it going to work? All right. Tilt camera it is. Oh, that's fancy. All right, guys. It all happens here at the keyboard. Now, we're going to focus on this end of the keyboard for a specific reason. Namely, it's the only one that you can see. Thank you for that. Thank you for that donation. Now, let's turn to something that's not quite as flippin' stupid as that sound. Because seriously, that's got to go. This ain't whatever year that is. Oh, just good old basic piano. No, a Steinway. Why are we doing a Yamaha? Come on, y'all. No, isn't... Listen to that. Already, don't we seem like we know what we're doing? I just cheated some stuff. I had no idea what that was going to sound like. I knew a certain hand position. Now, let me find another useful tool that I must show you that is key to playing, pun intended, keyboard. Because it makes you sound like a boss. Sustain pedal. Let me show you what this little Jolly Roger does right here. getting heckled again. What the fuck's wrong with my Twitch personality? No, we're not talking this weekend about it. We're talking now. We're talking now. Bring it on. Bring it on. Seems like I can find the hole for this stupid thing. See, look, you know what I just did? I got heckled and my feelings got hurt. And I just lost my train of thought. But I found the hole. There goes the heckling again. We can deal with this. Alright, let me show you why this pedal is so badass. Basic delay pedal, about $10 on Amazon. It plugs in with the same sort of cable like a guitar cable plugs in with. But it takes you from sounding like... Let's find something that's got a little less echo on it so you really see what's up here. Now, if your foot is on the pedal, it's like you in a dream, yo. Sustain does a lot of work for you. It's great. You want to sound like really heartfelt and like you meant what you're saying? Buy a $10 pedal, plug it in the back of your keyboard. We're going to use this. Guess what? It also works via MIDI. Okay. Now, we talked about rules, right? Yesterday we talked about frets on a guitar. Oh, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Thank you so much for the donation. For $10, I will also take off my socks. So, right here, same way you have a fretboard where you can figure out where you're at to, you know, I mean, you see these guys playing these guitar solos and it's like, oh my God, it's like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. It's not that they've got some innate ability to just like, you know, feel the music, because half of them are probably drunk or high, the ones that you're thinking are so awesome, like the rock stars. They got this stuff on autopilot. What they have, though, is a cheat sheet. The cheat sheet is in the form of that fretboard. Well, guess what? We got a cheat sheet here. The ivories and the ebonies, right here. Cause a keyboard actually only goes from cha to cha. Those are both the same note. You start with a C note. You got a set of two, set of three, set of two, set of three. It's just repeating all the way down. Doesn't matter what size keyboard you have. You have one set of tools. So already right there, we've taken our work from 61 keys down to, yeah, I don't know, like what? No one knows. 12 to 15 keys. And if you can figure out your way around this set of keys right here, then after that, playing keyboard, the other half of the battle, it's kind of like that whole, what is it? Pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time, trying to get the two hands to interact, coordinate. And even that's really advanced. I still struggle with that. Guess what? Thanks to the power of MIDI, we can record parts a little at a time. We don't have to have the proficiency or the prowess to play this kind of stuff. All we have to know is, hey, these three things sound good together. And if I went down to the next set of these, oh my God, it's like the same sound but lower. You know what that's called? It's called an octave. I know you've all heard that term. If you haven't, just read a book. It's not that difficult of a word. But each set of these is an octave. So we've got octaves. We've got our talking points. That's exact. We have a comment. We should make these lessons. We focus on 2 or 3 things a stream and reinforce the ideas. That's exactly what we are doing today. But today is more of a broad overview. We are tackling just a lot of major concepts that are going to be really important moving forward. And then next time, we start breaking these down one by one, and you just build on top of them. And next thing you know, as I was told in college by a roommate, he said he made his money playing panty music. And I did not know what that meant. Apparently, just he was good at these certain tricks. It was John Mayer music, and it just, his weekends were always interesting. And I learned the power of music at that point. So, our big takeaways right now are a keyboard. It's not this big old crazy machine that you got to figure out how to work everything. Break it into the small part. Just boom. Octave. Right here. This set of keys. I'm reminded again how many people are just masturbating watching this. That might get cut from the YouTube stream. So let's see what we can do with this. All right, so now that we've got that basic concept down, we're going to take it off the crotch shot. Oh, my hair is just disheveled. Good, that's worse. Good to go now. All right, so let's do this. Okay, last night on our Let's Read Children's Books Like They Are a Maroon 5 Song, we discussed a couple of other core concepts about something we call song structure. Meaning that songs are not just this big crazy, what's going on? But it's a very, very simple thing. There's a verse, there's a chorus, and then what do? You repeat it. Verse, chorus. But usually in pop music, you had one more chorus. We have a bridge. And then we explode with one more big chorus. That's what we're going to do today right now. We're going to take that simple formula. We're going to take, let's say, 4 instruments. And we're going to make this happen very, very quickly. It's going to be just a kind of song. But watch, we can pull a song out of our ass in like 35 minutes. If that, tops, not knowing anything about how to play music. Now, the thing to keep in mind is there's some basic instrumentation that no matter what style of music you're talking, you need like some very, very basic instruments. This will all be broken down later. We're going to go lesson by lesson, but we're going big overarching picture here. Hey, guess what? You can guess one of them, drums. We can do that on keyboard too. It's magic. Drums, bass, and I don't care what kind of music it is, there's bass. Whether you're dropping it, or whether you're plucking it up here, or whether you're thumbing it and playing some Red Hot Chili Peppers or Sublime something. And then after that, you're going to have any sort of various instrument that's going to play the real, like, let's say if we're eating dinner. Drums are, God, there's no good example. The drumsticks on, really, what the hell would drums be in a dinner plate? That's a tough one. Because bass would be, like your meat. Maybe drums would be the potatoes. If we're talking like American dinner here. And then you got to have that other piece of the meal that's like that, the little side item that really brings you a little pop of flavor. And that's where you have either like a keyboard, you've got a guitar, a violin if you're playing heavy metal, something that's going to, usually it's this extra element is what makes it stand out to be whatever genre it is of music, unless you're Korn. And God, I don't even know if anyone listens to Korn anymore. But the way the bass player figured out his stuff and this by doing this weird tuning on it to where the strings are flapping around, it gave him this trademark sound with their bass that normally people get with a guitar or with a synthesizer or a piano. So let's keep it simple in just those terms. We're gonna have like those three little parts to the stew, and the fourth would be a vocal. Now, you heard the prowess of my vocal abilities last night, but let's not let that stop us. We are gonna move ahead. I mean, if T-Pain can sing, and he's got his own app that's $2 on the App Store called, I don't know, T Mule's Auto Tune, and he's made like hundreds of thousands of dollars, then we'll use it. Little known fact, Auto Tune first became misused in the Cher song, what was it called? Believe? That one, do you believe in love that love? There was this piece of software, or this hardware, where you could fine tune, you could auto tune someone's voice. She's in there in the studio, and they start taking the knob and just titty twisting it, and like, hey, this sounds cool. Let's toss it on there. It becomes this like club hit. Next thing you know, everyone's saying, "Hey, yo, I need that thing," and it just becomes this nasty, like, we don't even have to sing our own tracks anymore. I can just hum monotonous and look up Auto Tune the News on YouTube if you want to see, the best example of the fact that you can make anybody sound like they're singing. But I digress. Those are all the basic building blocks within GarageBand right here. We're going to make those different sounds. We click on one, Oh my God, we're like Enrique Iglesias. We come over here to drum kit. Yeah, that's like some, I don't know, some 1980s classic rock. So we got drums, and then we got all this other stuff. So let's do this. Let's make 4 tracks, and then we're going to go ahead and choose what those 4 instruments are going to be. Because it's best not to, it's really easy to have this paralysis by indecision or by options, where you got so many things you can choose from. You just Jack White from the White Stripes, he talks about this. The reason he's got that signature sound, and there was this great documentary that had Jack White and The Edge from U2 in it, and they would play their scenes back to back. I want to say it was the two of them, and then maybe Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. God, I hope I'm not wrong about the third one, but it was about guitar players. And it was so cool watching the difference in Jack White and... I swear to God, I probably said Jack White the first time. I hate myself so much. What do you do when things go wrong? They would show Jack White and him just taking a guitar with this $15 metal piece of turd amp and making these, making Jack White stuff out of it. And then, God, people are just blowing me up on the Twitters. And then, and he's saying less is more. You don't need all this crap getting in the way. You just need to play the music, whatever the music is. Give yourself more time to explore, to tickle the ivories, as they might say. No one says that because that's like the most bullshit term in the world. Tickle the ivories. Yuck. Cinematic textures. I just got sidetracked. What is... Alright, I'm doing the rest of my talking. And then, everyone, you just have to find the music inside yourself. And today I think it's important that we all drink the Kool-Aid. The Edge would get up there at his part after Jack White's scene, and he's got like 48 guitar pedals down there. Like, always like trying to find the right scene. I have no idea what the hell he sounds like. I don't remember. That's like my fake Bono impression. Point is, you spend like 10 grand on all these different effects pedals and junk, and at the end of the day, you're playing 4 chords going, 1, 2, 3, 14! And it's the same shit you've put out for like 5 albums in a row. It doesn't matter. I've got a term for that. Musical masturbation. That's something else we'll have a lesson on. You know who's the king of that? Fish, the band, with a PH. You sit up there noodling all day with your solo that lasts 28 minutes. No one cares but the person playing it. Dude, we heard every single one of those notes in the first 10 seconds tops. And you've taken this 11 minutes. Unless you are like major tripping on something and you're just going off into a faraway land, it is the most boring nonsense, just drivel. We're going to stay away from that. We're getting to the basics. So, step 1, drum set. Let's pick something, since we haven't downloaded all the different sound packs, we're going with SoCal. Now let's just see how we're doing this. And we'll have a multicam set up next time. But let's go crazy. And for now, we're going to go with this cam up here. So you can see this stuff being made. All right. So drums, as a rule of thumb, and this is kind of, I don't know, it's just the way Jesus made it. And when you pull them up inside different programs, they're down here at the bottom of the keyboard. They just kind of hang out. Your first one's always your bass drum. You got your snare drum. That's a different version of the snare drum, which you call a rim tap. It's the difference between hitting like the middle and the edge. No, that was totally the wrong key. Point is, we get over here. Got some hi-hats. All right, so we got our drums down. We're going to go up here and add a new track. I haven't really told you much about how to work GarageBand because it's really flippin' easy. And if you're just like looking at anything that I'm doing right here, you're figuring it out. All right, so let's see. The drum set that we came up with, since it was the only one we had available to us, was pretty natural sounding. So I'm not going to get anything too crazy synth-wise, because when you're picking instruments, at least at the beginning, let's say we're just making something easy, you pick instruments that sound well together. It's like putting a suit together. Like you're putting a formal suit on and someone says, hey, all that sounds great together, but why don't you put this Hawaiian shirt in there? Well, that just throws off the whole outfit unless you're Charlie Sheen or unless you're really, really confident. Rule of thumb, most people don't want that. So you want stuff that matches. So if we're going to go with like a natural drum sound, we might be more inclined to go with a natural bass sound. Now, popular music a lot of times dictates this sort of thing, and what's popular, what's not. So this isn't really, it's not this is a rule. It's just saying that, it makes sense. So that's what we're going to do right now. After we drink our juicy juice. Now, they've got some stupid names for these basses. Oh, that's really low. That's feeling some funk, some Jackson 5 going on here. It's going to have to be like a lively song for that to work. That seems like really slow ballad type. Liverpool, aka, whenever they say that, they mean like a Beatles sound. Oh, dang, that's some deep. I'm liking that a lot. What do you mean that goofy stuff sucks? I am goofy. I'm trying to figure it out. I can't be all serious all the time. Now, that's one thing about MIDI instruments you'll notice, is that sometimes, especially when you're dealing with real instruments, there's going to be this sweet spot where, hey, that sounds like the actual instrument. I'm working on my confidence. It's a confidence issue. So like, and filling dead space. This whole thing about improv, trying to figure it out. All right, for cereals. All right. Anyway, down here is where the bass is gonna sound like the bass. Up here, don't make sense. But MIDI instruments, I mean, they're more or less just taking similar sounds and then they're just adjusting the pitch as necessary to go up the scale. So, I mean, does that sound anything like a bass? No, it does not. Up here, that's really our highest range of usable bass where it sounds like natural. And while that sounds really mean right there, there's this nasty little thing that happens when you're producing music. You get these nice, like, thick, deep tones, or these, like, thick, just, like, nasty guitar riffs. I mean, nasty in a good way. And you're like, you hear them by themselves, and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. What ends up happening is when you play all these different instruments together, they do what's called, they muddy the mix. They all fight for attention. So don't necessarily just choose because it sounds so good on its own, because it's not necessarily going to sound good in the scheme of things. So I do dig this bass, and I think it's going to go well with our SoCal drums over here. So that's a nice flam tap, as we call it in the biz. Let's get our third instrument. Now, since we're going all natural on these couple of things, I am intrigued to see, I don't know if this set up earlier, but let's potentially actually go with a guitar. I don't know if it's going to work. Please don't tell me you have to like restart the program. Let's see. All right, we're gonna go fingers crossed here. Start a new track. Hey, record guitar or bass using GarageBand as an amp. It's like it tells you that crap in advance. You can't actually see that. I did not realize you couldn't see that window. That was not what we meant to make. Delete track. Track, new track. Audio, line input. I think I'm getting this right. That was the wrong input setting. I think we can change it. Let's see what we can do. We're so close. And I mean, if this guitar gets working like in the next 10 seconds, we very easily, I mean, we could play the song Louie Louie in like 0.2 seconds flat. And I think that thing probably made thousands of dollars, which was a lot back in the day. Track, new track. God, I swear, no one ever listens to me when that chick with balloons is online. All she's got to do is just pop some balloons, and everyone acts like. Tell her to come over here and let's have a guitar off or something. Oh my word. That sounds like shit, as we say in the biz. Oh my God. Welcome to delay. You know, we ain't got time for that tonight. We're going to go with a synthesizer. Forget it. You know what? Piano. Piano it is. And someone tell Balloon Lady that we're writing her a song. We're going to call this song Balloon Lady. And we're going to make it a ballad because she's going to fall for us. There's stupid balloons, writing people's names on them, calling that creative. How the hell do you call that creative? Writing balloons. Writing on balloons. Number one channel on Twitch, everybody. Hey, everybody. I've got balloons over here. Yeah, tell her I said that. Name of this song is I Write Balloons. I wrote balloons before writing on balloons was cool. You know what? Okay. Yeah, the next thing we're going to do right here, we're going to add one more thing to the mix. Our lyrics that we're going to sing. So let's see. We have to have our inspiration. All right. This is where we're going to write it. So let's think of, because really we're doing this entire song right here. It's called I Write on Balloons. Let's blow that up so people can see it. Ballad by D.H. Drum. All right. So for the first verse, let's just have like 4 lines. Let's do a really quick chorus. It's going to be 2 lines. And then for these purposes, we're going to just repeat the first verse. We will repeat the chorus. I'll write this down. Okay. It's going to go V, that equals a verse. I'll just write it out the first time. Verse. Chorus. Verse. Chorus times 2. Bridge. Balls to wall. Big chorus. I'm really bothered that's not on the same line. I'll just tease it over. There we go. Okay. That's our song structure that we're going for. Verse. Let's see. It's going to be something about balloons. I know my balloons. Let's see. Now, you know what? We're gonna come at it from the back, if you know what I'm saying. Twitch may be for games, but my balloons are why you came. It's an understated way of saying we're talking from her perspective is how we're setting it up. This is going to be the first verse. The chorus, though, is going to be from our standpoint. So we've got 2 different perspectives. We've got a call and response. She's talking to us, and then we're going to talk back to her. So let's see. For now, we can slightly get off the ball shot. All right. People can't see my shit. My shit's gotta get seen. If you hate what you're hearing, then spam me on someone else's email address because I don't care. I'm trying to move this one. Okay. Here we go. All right. We're almost done with the verse. Do. Do I have any balloons? Because sometimes getting into the role helps you. For now, let's just finish this up. Twitch maybe for games about balloons or why you came. You give me all your money and I pop your see, I wrote myself into a corner. I give you all, you give me all your money. And ain't that funny is where we're gonna go with this. And joke's on you because ain't that funny. That's shit. We can do a little better than that. Twitch maybe for games. My balloons are why you came. You give me all your money, and I take your. Sometimes you can just kind of trail off a thought, and you don't have to finish it, and then you go into a chorus, and it brings in this overarching theme, and we're just gonna go with that because these are important, pertinent thoughts right here. Twitch is for gaming, but people like watching her write on balloons. They donate frequently, and she has a takeaway, which is going to be represented in our chorus. Like coitus, but I meant chorus. Chorus. Now, how do we want to feel about this? Is this going to be a liberating song for us, or are we indebted to her? Now, let's think about this. Let's reenact this for a moment. First, a little brain food. Let's see how we can. Let's put this into perspective. Oh, hey, y'all. I just love streaming Twitch games. Just watch me play my games real fast. What? Let me write your name down on something. This is the equivalent. So let's just experience it for a moment. I tried to get balloons. I didn't have any, so I had to settle for getting a banana and just trying to reenact it from a male point of view. but it's going to at least put us in the same headspace. So, but this she's taking, okay, this gives me an idea of what she's taking. I've got your, you know what? Let's go back to that Michael Jackson, Billie Jean concept from last night. I think there's really something here. There is really something here. I've got your bone. I've got your bone. I've got your balloons. See, because we're taking, instead of, now it's getting very Banksy over here. All right, so let's just take that. That's our verse and chorus. Now let's make this into a song. So the first one's going to be from the verse is from her perspective. Chorus is from ours. Where the hell to put this? We don't need the picture of the piano. We get it. You're like, no, I get it what you're doing. Stop it. You stop it. Yeah, here we go. This is what we're doing right here. Just moving stuff around. All right. Here we go. So, I like to start. You lay down. We're gonna lay down the basic beat first. Like, we gotta know what we're doing. So let's think about it. Like, this is one of those things that you can just kind of like rat-a-tat-tat with a little bit. You know, there doesn't have to be any, like, just what do you want the flow to be? Like, is it gonna be a waltz? Doon 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 doon. Easier if we do drums. See, that'd be like a 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. I don't think that's gonna be. We're doing like a love song here, so we got to go with something a little different. It's probably gonna be maybe a. You know what? Because here's the thing: if we wanted to play like a full drum set, we've got this what they call a hi-hat here, and we'd have to be going like. That's a lot of work though with two hands, especially if you've never done this before. And what I'm telling you is that any idiot can play. So, what kind of drums should you get? Lord Asuba. Well, frankly, I would ask you, why are you putting links in the channel, and is this a real question? And other than that, are you in an apartment or are you in a house setting? Because that depends on if you need electronic or if you want acoustic. But that's going to be in a further lesson. Let me know if you got any further questions on that. All right, so instead of doing all this work with two hands, great thing is we can just do a couple of things at a time. We can combine them. And if this is our rhythm right here, there's even something that can help keep us on rhythm that is going to click back and forth called a metronome. All right, hear what that's doing? We're going to use that. It's going to be a nice epic ballad here. It's going to be slower, and it's going to, help us do what we want to do and not have to rush it, and be Kenny Powers on the keys. So let's hit record, and we're just going to lay down just our bass and our snare, and then watch what we can do to finish up the drum set. That's all we had to do. And we have our entire verse figured out. Now let's look closely right here. I was telling you, like, MIDI picks up all these different things. Every time we hit a note, that's the duration of the note. If you look closely, how do I zoom in? All right, we can do lots of things. Like, if we just play this real fast, let's loop it so you can hear what I'm doing here. All right, so that was a little bit off beat. It was a little bit off beat. There's this great thing about MIDI called, it's the stupidest name ever, quantization. Time quantize. What that means is, hey, I'll make your shit sound on time for you. I knew I shouldn't have hit his link. Why did I hit his link? That's what happens when you click on a straw poll. I digress. Anyway. Okay. So this stuff's a little offbeat. Watch what happens when we quantize it. You can have it quantize. We'll go into all this stuff later. But for right now, let's say we're going to quantize it to a 16th note. Look at where every note starts. It's exactly at the beginning of this beat. I'm going to undo it. And then we'll get out of this drivel. See, it all slightly moved over. Now, at first you'd be like, let's quantize everything. That's not a good call, though. Because there's a human element in playing music. That things stay kind of off the beat. Now, what we might do, though, is, this is another great thing, is we can take these notes and we can extend them out. Although you don't really notice the difference as much with drums. Point is, we've got our bass and we've got the snare. So let's add our hi-hat now. Let's take this track. We're going to duplicate it. Command D. Oh, there we go. So we have all the same instruments here. Now we got the hi-hat. So why don't we do this? Let's record again. Mr. L, what's not visible? Help me help you. I've got my screen I'm seeing, but tonight's one of those crazy evenings that oh, you know what? I see now. It's all so clear to me. How the hell did this get moved down here? Thank you for the feedback, good sir. Center to screen. No, that doesn't help at all. Transform. How about if we full screen this joker? Can you tell that I have not been twitching very long? That's really helpful feedback, though, seriously, because otherwise I just look like a jackass all night instead of just part of the night. Now, let me move myself out of the way, and get our lovely lyrics out of the way that we're going to be singing momentarily at some point. Great. All right. Thank you for that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now, all right, so we'll be going over some of the same stuff, so I won't like bug you with repeating it because it's going to be, you heard what I said, but you'll be seeing it in action now. What we have here, though, is, I got to pull up chat on this other screen so I can even see what the hell's going on. Tell me if this gets weird for a half second. It's hard to see the chat. All right, here we go. Anyway, we got the same two kits right here. Really, we could take this guy, and that didn't help at all. For simplicity, we keep them on two separate tracks. So we've played them at separate times, but when we hit play now, you know what? On that first note, I hear this duplicate. And what that means is when we were looping around, there was a note that hit twice. Oh, I see it. Okay. Need to make sure, I'm putting this other thing in other windows, so make sure this isn't covered up, because this is muy importante stuff. Yeah, you can see this, okay. The two, all right, single piece, this guy's sliced in half. It's because second time around we hit this dude right here. That 120 beats a minute, that's called starter series. That's called us just getting on track right here. Great thing about MIDI is that you can kind of take one of them out. That extra hit. Oh my God, extra hit gone. Suddenly we played it right the first time. That guy. I do appreciate this feedback. Oh my God, that is really huge. What the hell? Can y'all see that my Twitch address is okay? It's got to be a happy medium. You know what? This is called a work in progress. I'm starting to feel good about this. We'll just sneak this in a corner somewhere. Up here next to this drum kit. Here we go. We'll just sneak up there next to the drums. He's going to live all happy. And then we can peacefully continue about our lesson. Great. Appreciate this. All right. So, without further ado, we pretty much have our basic, at least for verse. Doesn't get much more basic than that. All right, now, speaking of bass. All right. You know, one thing that's really magical about bass is, not bass, but let's say the key of C. If you're going to, like, if you notice when people play piano, different keys sound right. Like if I go, that's weird, but it at least sounds like they match. But if I went, there's this weird dissonance. Okay. C is such a great key because you know what's in the key of C? All the ivory keys. You can't go wrong. If you're a beginner and you're gonna like one note this thing, keep in mind it's a really happy key because it's major. But for these purposes, we're just keeping this dead simple, making just like a dirt simple song. So I think it's perfect for this. So now here's a great thing about MIDI recording. Instead of having to play this stuff over and over and over, we took that loop and we'll just extend it out for a little bit. Same thing with this guy. Now the reason I'm doing this, and there's definitely better ways to do this, but it's like any workflow. You know, you can hit it like 20 different ways. This is what I prefer to do, is just this orange right here or yellow, if it looks like it to you, it just means, that was just looping back and forth. I don't want it to do that. I want to start from the beginning. I want to start playing. I think C major, 120 beats a minute. It's it defines just visionary. If I had to one word to describe it. Okay. What we're gonna do now, we're just gonna jack off with the bass for a little bit and find a snippet that sounds like, hey, we're gonna Bob Ross this. We're gonna happy accident it. We don't have anything planned, so all we know is that the white keys are fair game. Let's hit record. And we're talking about those luscious balloons she has. First try, random keys. Now this is nice. All right, it matches up to 4 bars. Let's repeat this and just see what we have here. Sounded kind of crappy. First step, let's quantize it, see if that helps it at all. Just randomly. Now I see one problem right here. Sometimes you can just look at your MIDI notes and tell that ain't right. Like if we zoom this out a little bit, does anything stick out here? This little nub right here. What the hell are you doing? I mean, they sound fine together, but see what I just did there? You can actually change which note you played after the fact. Now I like if we play this. Now I'm gonna undo. I kind of liked maybe where he was there at the beginning. That guy. I don't like where our first note started. That's not a good starting note. That's not. Screw it. We're going back to the beginning. This is an easy song. We're not going to overcomplicate it. But let's quantize this. Just down and dirty. And let's see if we can make something out of this. Because frankly, at this point, we're sounding a little rough. But I think we can take some of this kind of and with our third instrument, which may or may not be this Yamaha grand piano, we can make it into something. Because Bob Ross wasn't kidding when he was talking about his happy accidents. Any creative field you're in, that's exactly what you're doing all day long. You have this process that you work. And you know certain rules that do and don't work. And then what you do in the meantime is you just start kind of toying around within those. Like, this sounds kind of okay. Now let's work the rest of the process through and see what these two mash up to sound like. And then one day you go like, oh shit, that was cool. And then you put out the product and people are like, you're a visionary, how'd you do it? And the truth is like, shit, I just got lucky. I just hit these notes and then these notes this other time, and I was like, cool. I mean, that's about it. I mean, I don't care who you are, that's the logistics of it. So arpeggiator, what do we got here, just out of curiosity? Oh god, that's for another day, but I'm kind of excited about that. That could be fun. Let's stick with piano. You know what, let's take this all the way through. We said these could work. Screw it, we're gonna make them work. Plus it means we can use our sustain pedal. You know what though? What I might do, I can tell right now, we had a nice little... First off, not happy about the bass part. It doesn't have that hook to it. But also, when I'm starting to hear the piano now, I'm starting to think that the bass is going to need to be more underneath, more just like just supportive. It doesn't need to be this hooky thing. Not if we are having the piano in the mix here. So that being the case, let's start with the piano, see if we can't find our melody, and then we're going to come back and support it with the bass. At that point, it's really easy because we can take notes from the piano that are the core notes. We can copy and paste them onto the bass track. We don't even have to play it. And we've got our supportive underlying locked in bass. So, all right, let's just for a second before we hit record, let me tell you about this fun little trick. The 5/4 rule. Again, I don't know if this is actually a thing, but this is something I've just always told myself. This is how I taught myself the bit I know how to play. I cheat my way through this stuff. But I learned that if you start with your thumb, and I was like, why the hell ain't that making noise? That makes a lot better noise. Start with any note. Now there's two, let's say, overall like type of chords: major, minor, happy, sad. We talked about them yesterday. Now there's an easy way to make those when you're talking about a piano, and this is where the whole 5/4 rule comes in. If you want to make a major chord, we start with a C and count the C. Go 1, 2, counting every single key, white and black keys all included. They're separate but equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That takes us to an E. Now, from that, we've counted up 5. We go up in 4, including this E. That's the 5/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. Oh my God, that's our C major. Now, if we want a C minor, it's a 4/5. Just reverse it. 5/4, 4/5. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and we suddenly have happy song, sad song. Minor. Major. There you go. You want a happy or a sad song? Pick minor or major. So, since this is about our love for Balloon Girl, and yet how she treats us wrong because she pops all balloons after we give her all of our donations, we've been working all day long. Been working all day long. You know what I just did there? I just played the C key in 5, 6 different places. Notice it's the same note. And when you're doing that, it's kind of a magical thing because all you have to do is just get like a rhythm down of how your fingers move. And as long as your hands are in the correct place, you're going to suddenly start sounding like you know what the hell you're doing. Like, for instance, I've got a certain way my fingers move just as a percussionist, where I might go, let's say the pinky's the left on this, thumb's the left here. It's going to be... You're just developing patterns. Meanwhile, back at the sustain farm, look who made this shit sound nice again. Because if I'd played the same thing, no sustain. suddenly you're Sundance and you're Little Miss Sunshine and this shit. All we've done is just taken C. Notice no white key I hit sounds out of place. What's going to be really fun in a second is we get down a certain melody. Whatever it is, then we can go back through with a second one and just you can just pluck around wherever you want to, and it's going to sound good as long as you do one thing. Pluck around anywhere, end on C. That's your home base. So let's record this and show it as an example. Now, did you hear how graceful that sounded? Sounded like a pack of dogs eating turds. A lot of wrong notes. Listen to it. You get it. Won't torture you anymore. But check this out. All right. See all of our little dots here that clearly don't belong? Like the little zits? It's like a little minefield. We're going to weed our garden in a minute. First thing we want to do is let's quantize this, because we were going for a very straight ahead, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We want it straight ahead, and it was all over the place. This is where quantizing is our friend. Now let's see, with just clicking one button, immediately what the difference is. All right, so we've got problems with the notes there, but one thing I'm noticing now, our nice little swing and rhythm of our drums doesn't match up anymore. What's happening here is our song is progressing. It's taking on a life of its own. We started with one rhythm, but we saw like, wait a second, as I've gotten along, this song is shifting. It turns out I have a longing for Miss Balloon Popper. I no longer get angry at her for taking my donation money and popping a balloon and being #1 on the channel. Like, instead, I start having this affinity for her. Like, I need more balloon popping. I must give her more donations. So we need our drums to match that. We need to take away that swing feel. And usually the easiest way to do that is to quantize it to the same level that you quantized another one. Just make a match is the easy way to say it, so I don't sound like a flippin' scientific. All right, so we quantized our grand piano to 1/8 note. Let's do the same thing on our drum set. It's sitting at 1/16. We'll explain a little more of the notation later in the 8th versus the 16th. What's important right now is just they match. Now, we did that. Let's do the same thing on our hi-hats. Because see, like, these guys right here, these notes, you know, they're falling slightly behind the lines. We need to tighten that up. Oh no. See, that wasn't supposed to happen. Let's undo that. Oh god, I just messed up everything. Actually, I probably need to select all these guys before the quantizing works. Hey, now we're quantized. JK. Sorry about everything I said before. Time quantized. Boom, 1/8. All right, let's see if our quantization is a positive thing or if it just sounds like a nasty robot is playing this. Oh my god, it already sounds better except for the strange notes on the keyboard. All right, so let's weed our garden a little bit here on the keyboard section. Okay, the first time it played, we were just starting up. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. Let's just take that whole first part out. So at the 6th right here, the 6th measure, that's where we want to start at. So let's just get rid of this shit. This ain't even important. All right. You see, we're starting to see a lot of double notes here. This little guy, we know he's a straggler. He's going out of the way. All right. So this guy's got to be a straggler. Getting rid of him. All right. We got 2. Which one do we need to get rid of? Well, down the line, we see a lot more right here. That would lead me to believe that this is the correct guy. This is the imposter. Let's just get rid of him. And now, let's let this guy breathe a little bit. Where'd we go? I moved this whole guy back. Now it should sound fancy and good. I'll start them at the same time. And let's loop this thing. Because now at this point, these 4 measures, we're going to get that tight. We're going to get that melody exactly the way we want it. And then we're going to go through, we're going to solo like we were talking about. But not until we do 2 things. You know what? We're skipping ahead, but we're going to take this, and then that's going to be our verse. We're going to real fast take a separate version of this. It's going to become our chorus. We're going to copy paste. Boom, we got 80% of our song right there. We'll do a little something simple for the verse. Immediately, we have a 3-minute song, and all we got to do is add our balloon lyrics. And then we're going to sprinkle in after that for until we get sick of it, and we have a whole song. So this is the hard part. Just getting this hook right here that's going to just really bring people in and make them think about popping balloons with people's names on them. So as we're moving through, let's look at Weed in the Garden. Start seeing the patterns evolving. It's like playing, I mean, this is a real life version of Rock Band without even listening anymore. Okay, I see how this guy's going. See how he's going here? But I got a feeling it's going to be... Yep. I bet this is the imposter right here. Because I don't think he wants to step down until... Well, I don't know if he wants to step down right there or not. Let's listen. Yep, this is the imposter. Step down too soon. Oh my god. There was not a note hit in there. Now what we can do, take a couple of these little guys. Let's extend them out. Let them breathe a little bit. Like we were really tickling the ivories. And we know what we were doing. To where this thing is just... Now, you know what? I don't want to do that as much. I'm going to take back a little bit of that at the top. This was our right hand. These was our left hand. Now, the left hand in a way is kind of playing the bass. And I'm going to take the left guy and just kind of move these to where they're not really overlapping. To where they're just clean. Now it's cool if the top overlaps a little bit on the bottom, but I like you want the bottom ones to be sharp and hit where they're supposed to. All right, so at the end of here, like we don't even need the rest of this stuff because we just got our clean section. All that work was just to find a clean section that we could then go loop like so. So now, where are we at? And just for fun, let's throw a bass in. We did. See, clearly we don't want the bass there. But here's a general rule of thumb that's kind of interesting. Is a lot of times when you're playing piano, your left hand is playing the more bass type part, and your right hand is playing the melody. The da 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 da, and the left hand's boom da boom da. That was perfect pitch. Not many people have that. Notice, this is the right hand. A lot of notes. Left hand. One note, two note, one note, two note, one note, two note. That's it. So what if we take these fellas, copy. Let's see if this works in GarageBand. Paste. Let's see what this does. I'm confused. Why did it do that? Well, instead of wasting time figuring it out, we're just going to play it. We're going to be rock stars. Because we want it at a different octave anyway. Not that low. Oh. Alright. You know what? I don't know what I want exactly, but I know that first part would have worked. This is where it's good just to, once again, just play with it. Have our Bob Ross happy accidents. Count us in. Hit that note wrong, but I might have just about gotten us there. First thing, what do? Starts with a Q. Not quit watching. Quantize. Boom. Moved them over. Let's repeat. Let's see what we got. It's a little loud. Already, what I'm thinking is Liverpool bass isn't making this. We need an upright synth. A synth is going to really make this pop. Let's see. Let's go back to bass. Sting. Upright ballad bass. My God. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. See, I just right there was just thinking some different things that would sound good. Instead of just stopping so quickly, let's not hit him. Let's not hit. Let's let the cello breathe a little bit, or the upright bass. Ah, shit! I wish I recorded that. Let's go for a few measures. I think I kind of like that. Let's quantize that and see what happens. Eighth note it. You know what? Eighth note didn't work. It took away too much of our swing we had going on with this thing. Maybe not. It didn't move that much. In my head, I heard more swing. All right, but you know what? In the essence of time, we got to keep going. This is kind of the way production is sometimes. Is you can sit there and you can get sucked into these portals, like this time sink, but you can't do that. We have something that's going to work. Our project has been steadily developing. We've now turned from a happy-go-lucky talk about a lady with balloons and titties to now we have this ballad of longing, and if only we could be in bed with her balloon for just one moment and just write our own name on that balloon. That way we may pop it ourselves. It would make us whole. And that's the nature of music. It takes you places. And writing it does the same. I mean, you get the same sort of experience writing music that you do hearing it. And it's a different level because you've gotten to experience it yourself. And now anything that I say is going to sound a little bit deeper because it's got minor. Well, we're even in major, but it sounds minor. All right. I think we officially have our verse there. So what we want to do now is we're going to make up a chorus. And our chorus needs to... It's got to pop more. Like, we couldn't now just... Boom, 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 boom. The same thing around. It wouldn't work. People would be like, I'm bored. So, this is the place where... What we can do is we can cheat some stuff. Potentially our drums, as in like bass and snare, they're going to stay the same, but we're going to change from being a hi-hat set of cymbals, as they call it, we're going to take the same rhythm, we're just going to copy it and paste it and move it up on the notes, not to a tambourine. I know it's Christmas, but yeah, cowbell. That ride cymbal. That ride cymbal right there. That's going to give us our nice, airy, breathing chorus that we need. So let's copy this. Copy. Paste. All right. Now, how many do we go up? You know, the great thing is we don't have to count. We can just... We're like at a D... an E flat. Up. Hit it. Let's watch this. If only I had moved all of them, it would have been really cool, but... Now watch this. Oh my God, our drummer just did something different and all we did was move a note. All right, so I know what I'm hearing in my head is the drums just stayed more or less the same, but okay, let's think about this. Drums stayed more or less the same. We're going to simplify the bass because the bass was kind of leading a little bit there, moving around. We want the bass to stay really firm here. That way we can get a little airy with the piano, because the piano and the bass were kind of muddied around here in the same region. And this is a place where we can really open it up. And that's similar sonically to what we just did with the drums. We took just, it's so funny, like when you think about the way drumming works. If you've seen someone drum, it's this kind of motion. You know, they're hitting this cymbal over here, crossed over their arm. It's this very like, it's this keeping it tight to the chest, and they get into that ride cymbal, and bam, they're out here. Like, I mean, they're literally opened up, and you can hear it, you see it, and that's a fun thing about being a drummer too. You feel it. Like, it really is different. And so we're going to take that same energy and we're going to try to apply it sonically to this music. We're going to get out of this section right here and we're going to bring the keys up here where they really start shining with some of these upper notes. And the bass, it's going to really ground it to make it feel just like it's allowed to move around without just being, it's like a kite getting held down. So, all right, let's listen one more time what we got with the bass. See, the bass is the one moving around, like doing the talking. What we need to do, though, just so we get the real feel of it, is we got to let this guy, I swear, I joke around about it, but if you've ever heard the terms like laying down your 16s, take a look at this right here. Like, when I move this back to measure 1, and these things all right here, every one of these plays out, because you can see with the humps right here where they have their full duration. Guess how many measures it is? It's 16 measures. That is your standard length. Like, rappers know, they go in, yo, I'm laying down my 16s, because that is a full verse. So let's listen to our verse right here. And it's important as you're going along, not to just listen to a little bit and move on, listen to a little bit and move on. Well, to each his own, but the way I do it is I have to be listening as a full piece, because then you feel where you want the piece to go. And then you try, to do different things to make that happen. And it walks it on down. And then you've experienced it, and now you get to enjoy it because you've heard it for the first time. Boom, boom. Come back up. Bring it on down. And this is where I can hear it now, like our keys are just going to be up here like. It's simple, but it's effective. We might as well just get out of the way and put it down there because it's happening at some point anyway. That was wrong. know what? I can already right there glean what we need to glean from it. First thing we want to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We know we can quantize this thing to quarter notes. Oh my god, that doesn't look right at all. Sorry, no, because I'm thinking about 120 beats. You get me again, eighth notes. Now, let's see. Do we see any aberrations in here? Because we develop a pattern. Wait, what the? Let's see. You shouldn't be in there. And I think I quantized the wrong jokers over there. Did I fuck up? We still good. We still good. Whew. We didn't have an unhappy accident, but we didn't quantize anything. Quantize to a coda. All right. Now what I want to do is I want these guys to be consistent right here. I had to make sure I was even still streaming. God, just so in the zone over here. I'm not talking to nobody. No one's talking to me. It's all right. We're making music. Let's lengthen these guys out a little bit so they breathe. So they don't sound so much like sleigh bells. They're going to sound like they've really got a message they're pulling out. Let's see what kind of effect that has on the first half. Oh, God, you hear that? Like angels? See, then it gets kind of like thin right there. Let's lengthen these guys out a little bit. A little bit more. You know what, actually, we don't need the rest of this guy. Let's check ourselves down. Wait. Or up here. Gotta lengthen these guys out too. Then we'll be good. We're gonna bring the bass in. And then we got the verse and we got the chorus. And then we're gonna have the bridge, which will be slightly different. At that point, we're sewing our song together. And we're gonna find one more element to bring in for, as we call it, we moved everything. You know what? I think I just remembered something I forgot a long time ago. Oh, it extends them all out. Well, could have saved us all a lot of trouble. We learned together. Now, let's bring this out for that 16. And now it's time to let the bass do its thing to just support the free roaming spirit of the piano. What does it need to do? Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out by playing it over and over. Repetition is the key to insanity. I might be honest, I'm gonna hit record. Oh God, yeah, I want those together. But I started them at the incorrect time, so I'm gonna move this one. See if I move them around, what happens. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. It was just a note. Poor little feller. I'm torn. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get crazy here. Actually, this dude's getting split in half. Oh shit, that one's supposed to happen. Edit, split, T, okay. I'm gonna split you in half. You guy. We're going to copy you. We're going to paste you right here. That first note's not working. Well, that shit just didn't work well at all. I mean, we know what we want. It's not. They're not just giving it to us. We're having to work for it a little. This is what happens in recording. All right. Notice something right here. We've got a split where one ends and another begins, recording wise. The very beginning of this note is in front of the start line. Since it's in front of the start line, the instrument doesn't register it. Like, it needs that very beginning piece of information to know, like, oh, I'm supposed to hit the key now. Because what it starts seeing is key held down, up. And if I start like this, up, there's no noise. It needs the piece of information going, hit. So that's important to know. Because sometimes you'll be like, I know I hit that key. Why didn't it register? And that's the key right there. I didn't realize I was making that pun. That's not the right note. I don't want to move them all. There we go. That was our C. Oh, see, you guys need to get quantized now. I bet we extend you out a little bit. Do you see what I'm doing? Like, I'm already starting to like change notes and move them without even hearing them, because you start playing this like rock band. You can just see like, oh, I can tell you guys are in the wrong place. I can tell you guys are in the wrong place. The hell? Let's take you back to 1/8. Why ain't you quantizing more? I said 1/8. The devil are in these notes. You know what? We're hitting a point where it's like, I'd be better off just... Let's just re-record it real fast. Always know when... Fail quickly, I guess is the point. Ed Catmull from Pixar taught me that. I think that's our riff right there for the chorus. Except for this little jitterbug. All right, let's quantize ya. Go in, 8 note yourself. Ah, it's a fun little drop we get there at the end. We can do a lot with that. Nice. Boom, boom. That's where, as a vocalist, it's going down. We're gonna have to da, 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 like do something up there because it's giving us this gap, and we're gonna hop up there with it. So what we need to do, I've got to take a what we call a bathroom break in the biz. Some people call it a 1086. And I'm going to loop this shite for, let's see how many loops it takes for me to get back out here. I'm going to say 3 because I got to piss like a racehorse. Ingest it, BRB. I'm assuming that was longer than 3 loops. Anyway, so at this point, we now need to find a bridge. All right. Let's take this off so we can go between. All right, this is a place where our drums have been doing the same thing pretty much the same time, like the entire time. So it's just one more element that would really benefit us to change up. So I think we can probably get away with doing the same hi-hat work. But we could get a lot of good mileage out of changing up our there's something desperate about a rim tap. It's like you were trying to hit the snare but in a fit of emotion, you just smack the shit out of the edge of it instead. And by this time, old balloon titties is just all we can think about. This might be a good point for it, because we're versing this, we're chorusing. We might as well go ahead and set up what the technique is going to be here, which is, or the structure. Let's back this out. I'm going to go ahead and all right. Bring this back here just so we can copy, paste. Verse, chorus. Now let's take a verse, boom, chorus, copy. Gotta extend our whole song out. Sorry you didn't think we'd be making a whole song here, GarageBand. What we got? Verse, chorus, verse. Chorus, chorus. Oh, shit. Chorus. Yeah. Chorus. Let's make sure that looks right. Let's count it. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus, chorus. Now, by the time we're here, let's take a look at... we're already at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, it's fine if no one's here, man. I'm still doing my thing. I'm used to playing with no one here. So we're at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, we have a bridge to do. Let's bring it on, because this is going to bring us on home. Let's see. Let's go back. You know, we're going to redo the hi-hats as well, because we're about to step it up a notch. All right. Let's start right here. And if you're heading out for the night, man, I know it's getting late. I'm just going to finish up this song. Let's see. All right. So we got our click, 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 click. We're just pulling up the emotion. I think I like what we were doing there at the end. Let's take that and let's quantize that to probably 16ths. See what it sounds like. Oh, wait, I think this is the one it started at. Take it back to beats. I think 88 is where the good stuff started. Oh, take that off. Oh. Back to 88. Let's just cut this up till here. No, it had to start after that. This is off a little bit. All right, I think we're back on. All right, here we go. You know, all of this is a payoff. This is another good lesson in music production. Is that there's all of these moments of just like, oh, you're just sitting here and you're just staring at the same notes. You're just going to the same stuff. What you're doing though, ultimately, I mean, you're condensing like hours worth of work into this 3-minute eargasm. Really, that you want people just to like, just when they hear it. There's a shit ton of work that goes into that. And where it really pays off when you really see it. Let's say we get this bridge done right here. We copy this chorus right after it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to lay a vocal track on it. And then suddenly you hear it back. Hear it full. And that's when you get your eargasm. Because it's been your work. And it's just like, oh my God. Like, it's incredible. It pays off. So let's see. Let's try to finish this up and finish it up strong. It's 11:46. I bet we could finish. Let's finish the instrumentation by 12. That gives us a deadline. Because again, you got to work on the deadline. All right. So why didn't we hear our beginning note right there? Because there ain't no damn beginning note. So let's just copy this guy from down here at the bottom of the screen. No. And just say, paste. Oh my God. It worked. And now let's take this guy, trim it back, right to 80. All right. That's 4. Copy. Paste it. That's our 16 for our bridge. Now we got to do the same thing with the cymbals. Appreciating the reviews. It's all a work in progress. This is lesson 2. By lesson 10, we're going to be putting our balls in the wall. Let's cymbal this up. Just checking our different sounds. It'd be good to have a combination of sounds right now, and to have like a thickening layer. Look at that. We got 2 hi-hats, different sounds. I guarantee you this is the key to what we're looking at right here. Let's repeat the 16 and just see what happens. Play on top of it. I started trying doing some fancy stuff at the beginning, but by the end, it leveled out. The drum and bass. Oh God, I forget the mouse does that. And okay, the drum and bass were pulling enough stuff, like creating enough energy that. See down here. All of this nonsense in the front was just that. It was just nonsense. It only needed this right here. That's where it felt the most comfortable. So let's quantize this real fast to a 16th. You know what? And let's just get rid of all this shit up to up to there. Now if you'll notice, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. What we really need, copy these jokers. Let's just paste those guys right here. Look, now we have symmetry. I'm not happy with that. Let's try taking it up to a 1/8 note. Like if it shifts all this stuff. Something a little off. See, this is where you just, let's go crazy. Oh, this is weird. Quarter note really changed it. Let's see what that did. I think that helped. Happy accident, Bob Ross. All right. Let's listen to the part right before this. That way we know what we're dropping into for the bridge. And then musically, we're pretty much about done. We're just going to, at that point, toss a level of vocals on it. So let's start just right back here. You know what? Okay. Here's the thing. Verse, the bass took it. It was the one rolling around. In the chorus, the keys, they got to play free. The bass, it really grounded it. In this one, the keys and the bass, we're going to have them just nailing out some. That was a shitty example. It's like this build, it's this tension, but it's allowing the drums to take the center stage because we're going to ejaculate all over the final chorus. So let's go ahead and let's put that down right now. Oh, this is a good idea. Let's do C's on multiple octaves. That's epic. Now I did it that many times. That way I can quantize this stuff to a level like we haven't yet. A 1-1 to make sure it's just like right on the money. Time quantize. 1-1 that junk. Here we go. At the end, we take out these couple of weeds. It's probably our money shot right here. You know what? I was a little short. All I gotta do is repeat it. Copy. Paste. And then since we got one notes going with the keys, we're going to increase the intensity with the bass with the quarter notes. Boom, 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 like an octave higher. Because then it's like the keys and the bass will have been like switching positions a little bit. They're going to be switching positions not only in melody versus grounding, but also the bass was keeping the general time while this like key was doing its thing. And now we're going to switch it around. We got to make sure. All right. We got to get these right too. Got these down. Cha. Copy these, bros. All right, let's see. Now all we got left is bass. So we're going to stick with C. You know, we could get a little frenetic with... Well, it'd help if we were on bass. Here's the thing, though. The keys are already on C. So we should have something else going. Let's just play around and see what happens. Let's extend this out. Because this is our last build up into the chorus. We got to make this count. This is our, our drop the chorus moment. How do I copy paste that? That should be looped. Actually, this is a really good place for the bass to stand out. And all right. I wonder if a run like that would work. Let's try that again. Alright, that's what we're going to do, only because if we do that and then we have our vocals saying two different things about balloons, one of them's about blowing the balloons and popping them. And the other one's like, writing all the names on the list that gives us all the money. It's going to be like a round. With that right there, I guarantee you it's gonna win. All right, so let's go and record that. I'm sorry, we got it right the first time. Oh, that wasn't right. Don't delete it. Quantize it, son. All right. There we go. I bet it's going to be tight now. Let's see what we got. There's the loop. God. All right. You can tell it's rough, but boom, that's where we're going to hit into the last chorus. But right there, even though we hit into the last chorus at measure 89, the one thing that's going to happen is our bass is going to stay the same. Let's see. Bass is going to stay the same. Piano is going to go back to its little balls to the wall rendition. This is how we make it balls to the wall. Everyone's had their turn to shine for a minute. And drum and bass will go back to theirs, but the hi-hat difference will stay the same. Oh, that wasn't correct. Note to self, hit the instrument. All right, let's see what happens here. First off, let's save this. It's been a long, as in we haven't saved it at all. That would suck. Saving. All right, we're coming out of the last chorus, into the bridge, into balls to the wall. Last chorus coming up, or before the bridge. Kind of works, but it also needs that's where we, at another lesson, we would bring another bass under there too, to just like make it fatter. Dude, I know it's 12:03, but we've got all the pieces we need. Like, we just knocked back into the last chorus here. We're off by 3 minutes. And we got the instrumentation down. So at this point, we're just going to throw some vocals over it. But you know what? We might do that on another day. This is actually a good stopping point, because what we want to do later is, we've gone over a lot of stuff. What are we even looking at? I don't even know. Is it still my crotch? The grapes on my crotch. Yep. Hey. How you doing? So meanwhile, back at band camp. All right. Let's review what we've done and what we're going over next time, because this has been a very beginner's lesson. Verse, chorus, bridge, big chorus. We've identified a few major instruments. This is drums, the bass holding it together, our melody maker. And within a span of about an hour and a half, we've created a pretty much instrumentally complete song. It needs a lot of fixins, but this is in a key of C, something that anyone could do following along. So, anyway, thank you for all the feedback tonight. You've been a great audience. And please